Good evening, Anders, buddy. How are you? Nice, man. I'm very happy to hear that. That's very good. That's very good. Spin this. All right, cool. Cool. Play one game. My friend, good evening. Thank you for coming, man. How are you? Alrighty. One. There you go. I will resub. Only if you can, man. Only if it means very little to you, do it. If not, please do not do it. And I mean this genuinely. Well, Anders, yeah, you have to deal with that, right? You have to handle that, right? We have dealt with that, right? But yes, there are many user experience things that you have to account for. 100%, without a doubt. Without a doubt, my friend, yes. There are many challenges in building a product, and many of them are not technical. Many of them are go beyond way harder thing than technical things are easy. That's an easy thing, right? For the most part. Firefox TN, good evening. Firefox is writing on. There are many things you can do. There are many things you can do. It all depends on the time you have, resources and stuff like that, right? So it really all boils down to that. All right, so we're gonna have a whole evening to chat. And keep that thought, Anders. Thank you, play one game. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that, but only if it's not a big deal for you, right? Because I know that I don't know if you're working right now, so I hope that it's not too much. In that case, thank you very much, man. But never feel pressured, man. Just by coming back to this stream, I appreciate you being here. That I care about that way more. And of course, thank you for your support. Thank you, man. Likewise. Alrighty, so let's. So yeah, last night we stopped. So yeah, this stream we're gonna be building this thing that I'm open sourcing. It's not this. This is an old library I wrote 5 years ago. Which one are we building today? No, this is something private. This is also private. This one. Simple Cookie, my friend. Good evening. Long time no see. It's good, man. As you can see, I lost my voice a bit. I've been on a concert 3-4 days ago. So I'm talking almost like I'm sick. But I'm not sick. Take my money. Exactly. Exactly. It's a metal concert. It's Cavalera Conspiracy. Sepultura. Thank you. How are you, man? I haven't seen you in a while. So this is those two guys, Igor and Max. They are brothers. They formed an old band, very old band called Sepultura, then Soulfly, then blah blah blah. So it was mosh pits and a lot of yelling, which did this to my voice. All right. So last night we've been chatting for the most night, and Simple Cookie, that's amazing, man. Madagascar, that's very nice, dude. That's very nice. But I'm happy to see you, man, again. It's been a while since we saw each other. Good to see that you are around and kicking. All right, well, when it comes to me, Alex, let's actually do some work here. I'm building Programmer Network. If you go, somebody on YouTube is asking what I'm building now, some of those libraries, they are open source, yes. But the platform that this stream is about isn't open source. You can go to www.programmer.network. But yeah, this thing that I'm building today, this is open source, yes. This is a validation library for that we are using, that I built for Programmer Network, and now I'm back to the primitive. Exactly, Anders, exactly. All right, so, okay, guys, let's now lay back and, yeah, let's write some code. Okay. So one thing that we saw last night, which kind of sucks, right, is that validation, so it's either the testing utility or whatever that doesn't work, because validation now doesn't properly work. So you can see here, the given combination of arguments. So let's try with ChatGPT, just because I don't want to spend time on writing, I don't want to spend time on debugging tools, like testing tools, right? That we can't do, because that's a battle that you cannot win, and it's pointless, right? So so let's, the robot, as we call it, or to say my own LLM, large language model, Jean-Code 1 debug, is gonna hopefully help us with this. Alex, do you have impression that GPT gets stupider after a few messages? I think, to be very frank with you, at least play one game with what I can notice with myself is that I don't think that the ChatGPT gets stupider. I think that we get lazier. So what I've noticed in my own patterns is that it made us already so lazy that I'm slowly getting lazy asking it the proper things. So my questions are getting dumber. That's at least my personal impression. Right, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. I'm not sure. All right, so Anders, keep that thought as well. I just need to... we're gonna just spend we're just gonna spend like 5 more minutes on this, and if we don't solve it, we'll move away from this test. But I think it would be super good if we solve this, because yeah, it doesn't give me confidence now, honestly, because yeah, the error is null, which it shouldn't be, right? If we go to our playground of this library that we're building, right? Like if I do this, it's great. If I do greater than 10, it should not exceed 10 characters, right? So the question is, why does it work here? And then also I've noticed last night something, right? That you can see now when we clear this. Well, let's maybe try it later together, play one game. Maybe we can figure out what it is. Maybe we can ask him some of the questions and see, maybe there's a pattern, right? Okay, so we have this handle blur, right? And handle blur is a function that I wrote that when you know, on blur fires, meaning when I move away from this field, this is gonna kick in, right? Whatsoever, I think if we remove the field, let's figure out what is the actual expectation that we should have. Maybe if we clear out the inputs, maybe we should then just also clear the error, right? Because, or maybe this is correct, right? I think it's correct, right? So if I type 1 or 4 actually characters, yeah, so you can see, I see. Yeah, so thank you very much, ROH, for the follow. So yeah, we can see clearly that there is a little bit, so our thing is a little bit glitchy here, right? Let's try to, should be at least, yeah, right? So this is okay, right? So we can see that, yes, right? So now it's 4 characters, so this should be gone. But it isn't, so I think we messed it up somewhere with the error. I think last night, so we have this guy, wait one sec. But that's not bad, let's figure it out, right? Reset form, error, null. Okay, so so what I'm actually gonna do, right? Let's change the contract of this, or interface of this, right? So because input fields, they don't take the null value anyway, right? That's an invalid. An input field takes the empty string as a default value anyway, right? So we cannot do this anyway. So let's make sure that we don't really have nulls here. This data is fine to be null. And then we need to go to some types, right? Errors, any, that's useless, we'll see about that. Error string. So let's get rid of this. Okay, that's better. Dimitrovic, my friend, good evening. Not sure, what do you mean? Perl is a dynamic programming language, just like JavaScript. What do you mean? What can be done with it? So why is this error still null? Huh. Okay, so let's go. Let's take a look at this. So wait a minute. Okay. Okay, let's see. So we have some null. Right, so that would be that. That's good. I think empty string is not the best indicator for, well, error cannot be valid. Error, what do you mean for a valid state? There is another property called isValid, right? The reason why error cannot be null is because error is the field that inputs consume, right? I mean, not really, but right. But I agree with you to a huge degree, yes. I just want to see now if this is something related to this library or not. I don't disagree with you actually at all. So now basically it's correct, right? But so there's something off here, probably with this testing tool, right? So now the tests will pass, right? Because my initial data is this. So essentially, most likely, if I actually remove this, right, you can see this is gonna fail now, and we have this render hook, which, to be very frank with you, I don't know how it works, but we're using this, yeah. And then here we're like result.current.set title to this, right? We're using this set in other places as well, right? So the only thing I can think of is some concurrency issue, right? Could it be that, can we like, yeah, but this is a callback here, right? So we cannot just await there, right? What if that makes absolutely no sense. Okay, what if we, okay, let's do this. Let's now give this test to this fella, to Jean-Claude Van Diebeck. If I set the text in the initial state to what it is now, this test passes whatsoever. If the initial title is empty string, it doesn't work. I suspect that there is something wrong with Perl is a dynamic language, has nothing to do with C and C++. You're right, yes. Yeah, we know that, but how do we write? Okay. No, I mean, I'm not gonna do that. That's a little bit silly. Let me just try one thing. So this is good. This is why we're writing the, okay. So, shit. So this is amazing, right? So look. Oh, what? Oh, never mind. I thought it was amazing. Sorry, my bad. My bad. It's not. I'm using the testing library. For testing this hook, I'm using this testing library React hooks. Let's actually go and maybe read a little bit, right? Oh, shit. Oof. This isn't very maintained, is it? I think it's vtest. I don't know with this one. I've just set this up yesterday. I think I'm running vtest. Most likely. But it most likely, yeah. But either way, right? Okay, let's take a look at that together. So where is this crap? Acts. Ah, shit, that's not the great thing to look for, right? I mean, honestly, like, I don't know, right? I can use whatever, right? I don't know what else should I use, right? If you have a suggestion, please. Leo, my friend, good evening. Ah, got it. Yeah, well, this act comes from this library, right? So that's kind of, I guess... Yeah, I mean, it's always like a random... I'm with you. It's always very... Yeah, the thing is, right, that... Yeah, I mean, the thing is, right, I would expect this to... Like, I have no idea. So what's strange here, right? And that's good. I mean, it's good that maybe this is failing because maybe there's something off with my implementation, right? Yeah, so right, so I would expect this to work, right? I mean, result current and blur title, right? This should trigger the blur, right? Set is my hook function, right? So set is my sets the field inside the state, right? So this is the set, right? It sets the form state, right? But this one, well, now it's passing, right? But actually that's also true, right? Because this, you sure? Well, okay, well, little Leon. Well, okay, well, if that's, I mean, I trust you. You clearly know better about this than I do, and thank you for that. So I guess, I mean, you seem more experienced with using this this arc thing than I am, right? So I would certainly trust you. I mean, certainly I would trust you more than I trust myself with this, right? To be very frank with you. So that's great. That's good. Let's just ensure of this, right? So if I say 1 here, honestly, beautiful. Let's now do something else as well. So I wanted to test the min and max, right? So let's try that. So let's say here min length is, let's say 3. honestly, simple cookie, if we figure out now that it actually works, then, you know, yeah, definitely. Okay, so let's do this first, and then our expectation should be, let's make sure it fails, right? So this is correct. So far, very good. So this is correct. So this test should now pass, right? And that's great. And now we want to also test the max length, right? Got it. Okay, good to know. And let's say here now, lorem ipsum hi world. And this should now fail. And this indeed, it's something that I am okay, great, this works. So simple cookie, I owe you a beer, man. Thank you, buddy. That was super useful. Good to know. Okay, that's amazing, right? Okay, so cool. So okay, so since we have my own custom validators that I wrote, Oxa, good evening, buddy. So let's just write a test or two with my own custom validators, right? Because for some of you who've been watching me for a long time know that I wrote this as well. And we have some amazingly well-built custom validators, right? So let's see, has text, is secure string. So let me actually go back here and read the tests that I wrote here for this, because this is also fully tested. So let's find some case. Hugo, good evening, Hugo. Thank you for the follow, man. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this thing from my other tests. And I'm getting to you guys in a second. I just need to test this. Okay, so we're gonna do another block here. So we're gonna copy this, and we're gonna say validates secure string custom AJV validator, so our own custom validator. And if I recall, if I actually open Programmer Network, our frontend, how did I use it? I don't remember. I think secure string, right? It's like this. Yep, beautiful. Okay. So we'll go to this test over here, and we'll say, hey, this should be secure string. And I actually don't want min and max in here. Jack, channel IT on YouTube. Good evening, guys. I'm working on, wait a minute, I don't know why. Sign into chat. Wait a minute, that's super strange. Give me a second, guys. I need to give me a moment. Never mind. And then let's get over here. I just need to log in to the bloody chat in my OBS. 1 second. So strange sometimes. What the hell? Wow. All right. Give me a second. Your channel. All right, super. That's good. All right, so what I'm working on is, as I linked here in a Twitch chat, this is the open source library we're kind of trying to expose today. CRE, good evening, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I have a colleague at work who also did pretty much what you did, simple cookie. But, you know, I've been using it just for so long that yeah, you know how it is. There's nothing worse for us than getting rid of old habits, right? All right, so let's test this one, and everybody, please keep chatting. For how long you are doing TypeScript? Can you be a bit more specific? Like, you mean, what do you mean for how long? When did I use TypeScript for the first time? Is that the question? No, it's not. It hasn't been 20 years now, but probably more like 10 when I first used it. Yeah. I don't think it was 20. No, I didn't use TypeScript 20. I don't even know yet. I don't know which. I mean, I don't count years. How long I'm using something. Probably maybe what 10 years or something like that. But I'm not writing everything in TypeScript. I mean, sometimes I write TypeScript, sometimes I don't, right? And don't, please, not laughing at you, it's just that you guys sometimes ask those questions. How do I know how long have I been using something? It's not that I write those notes somewhere. Chica, what happened? Okay, so this is not passing right now, right? So the question now is, did I actually add my custom validators to my current use form instance, right? I believe I had, because I've moved all of the stuff from Programmer Network to here. So this is where I actually, this is kind of a little bit strange, but you mutate this object that you export. That's not nothing I can do about that. That's just a strange way that AJB works. Actually, give me a second. Let me go to my Programmer Network frontend just for a moment here. Because, yeah, we are moving all of this from there to here, right? So this is my instance in Programmer Network, and this works. Let's just do a process of elimination, right? Just to ensure that, yeah, right? I never said 20 years. It's someone else said that. Okay, so it's not this, right? All right, so if we go to my, if we go over here, right? 100 years, exactly. Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, I'm always a little bit introvert when people ask me about, right? What do you like to do? I mean, I like to be with my son, with my wife, play a guitar, record music, you know. But be with my family, that's what I like the most. Yes, be with them. That's the essence of life, is family. All right, so why is this fella not passing? Validate secure string. So it seems that the secure string result current state title area. So I would expect to, okay, let's just do one thing here just for fun. My son is 4.5. No, well, the error is nothing. I mean, there's no error. That's the problem. So, right, secure string is my custom validator. So this is supposed to return, to throw this, right? Right, because I'm literally, so I wrote this, those custom validators, right? So they're fully tested. So this works, right? So this is basically, so right now my AJV is supposed to literally throw exactly what we have here, right? Because I kind of, right, I wrote this long ago, and this is like also Numinex, my friend. Here he is. Good evening, buddy. Not much, man. Just you know, trying to open source this use form thing I wrote long ago. Okay. So the only reason why that could be, here we're adding the keywords, and here we're extending this AJV object that we've added, add formats, add custom messages, AJV errors. Well, to be honest with you, Numinex, I'm actually doing this not just because of open source, is because for a long time I wanted to break this out into a separate library. I mean, you can even see that I created this library like a year ago. I just never finished it. You see, like last year, right? It's just because I wanted to isolate it and test it, because this is the backbone of all forms in Programmer Network, right? So it's a very important thing. And in my opinion, I think this is an amazing library, not because I wrote it, but I think when you try it, once we actually finish this, you'll see how awesome it actually is. Because you can, in isomorphic way, share your schemas between your, let's say, Fastify and your front end, etc. You'll see. Have you tried Open AI's assistance feature? No, I'm not sure which assistance feature. No, oh wow, I haven't tried this, no. Nice, nice. I get it, sure. Yeah, it seems to be in the beta. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna be using this. I mean, I've been using, you know, I've been playing with Vertex AI at work, and with LangChain, for example, right? So I'm keeping up to date with large language models and stuff, because we all have to for the sake of our careers, right? So thank you very much. My ego is a little bit hurt that I haven't heard about this, but let's bookmark this instantly in my face, because this is very important to keep track of, right? Let's put it here. Simple Cookie, man. Thank you for your help, dude. I love you, man. Please come by whenever you can. Always pleasure having you here, man. And get some rest, man. Enjoy the video game. Okay. So if we go back to this fella here, so for whatever reason, again, our custom validator isn't kicking in, right? And that's beautiful. That's why we're writing this test, right? So secure string here. Let me again just go back to my Programmer Network frontend and search for secure string, because I'm using this validator all over the place. Type string, secure string true. Yeah, so that's something that I would expect to work. Let's open our Programmer Network API as well and search there as well. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's how I'm using it all over the place, right? So technically this should work. All right, so let's go to our implementation then. I mean, this is amazing. This is the whole purpose of tests, right? No, Go is incredibly supported. I mean, Go is incredibly good, incredibly good. No, I don't think they will do that ever. So the only reason why I can see this be, right, is that, so here we have the keywords. Let me just print my custom keywords that I wrote. Keywords, keywords, keywords. Here they are, right? So, oh, never mind. Secure string is here. Error is true. Has text, get bad words, is YouTube URL, secure string. So that's all great, right? So for sure the keywords are here, right? And then we loop through them, right? And then for each keyword that we saw here, here, we add the keyword, right? Keyword has text, type string, and then the validate is there, right? So that's good. That should be good. Now this instance, this AJV should in fact be able to throw those errors, right? Ah, shit. I might know what the issue is. Wait a minute. Maybe. Wait a minute. Because, and that's one of the things that I dislike. I think I even left it to do there. So you see, I have those default AJV messages that, so I'll talk about it in a moment, but I know. So you can see here I have this little utility where I'll explain this in detail in the video when we fully finalize this porting to open source. But here basically those are one of the most commonly used validators that you're gonna have. So the reason why this file exists, the reason why I wrote this is because otherwise every single time in every single schema of yours, when you validate, if you're using minimum or maximum or max length, you would have to write the same message. So I just centralized it here. So for the common ones, if you use max length somewhere, you don't have to say the max right? So I suspect here that now because of this, that we are maybe not getting an error. We are not catching the error, right? All right, so let's say here get error message, right? See how I wrote that. Get error message, get errors. Yeah, so over here, right? So let's see if we are actually getting errors here. So let's say, let's just do this. I think again, Go is probably my favorite language. It's a beautiful language. So for sure, that's not a bad choice at all. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I was right. Ah, it's so good to be right all the time and never make a mistake in life ever. Ah, okay, beautiful. I'm so smart. Okay, shut the fuck up. Okay. All right, so okay. Sure. All right, so I'm gonna grab this. So we need to handle now those things in our AJV so we can actually easily support our own custom errors, right? No, robot cannot help with this much, right? Because I have this knowledge in my head, because I built this, right? So I kind of know the limitations of it. They're just here still, right? And that we're gonna remove those limitations. So yes, so this we can see that it indeed does actually throw an error, and the reason why we are not seeing the error, which is amazing, which is why this test is helping us now with, is that this get field name, right, is not gonna return anything. So because it's not, you can see here we're just gonna return the accumulator, right? And that's success, right? But if we go and cover our own custom things, right? So, shit, that's not what I wanted. Okay, give me a moment. Barcode, my friend, good evening. So you can see my so my custom validators are actually throwing the right things. So I don't have to slice anything in here, whatever, right? So barcode, my friend, I'm very good. Just give me 2 seconds. I need to focus on this. Let me try one thing. I don't think that's gonna work, but it would be somehow nice to separate custom validators from the built-in validators in AJV. So if I go here, right, can I do something like, probably not, because this add keyword takes some specific data, but is custom keyword, could I do something like this? No. Yeah, but what? Yeah, okay. So I can't. All right. No, it's okay. It's fine. So we can't do that. Okay, it doesn't matter, right? I have another idea then. So what I'm gonna do, because this is an array of, okay, I have an idea. So here we have keywords, right? Which is great. We have this keyword string. Yep. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna compose another list that we're gonna export from here. So we're gonna say something like this. We're gonna say export const custom keyword names, right? And then we're gonna do keywords map exactly. No, none of that actually. Keyword dot keyword, I guess. I mean, when I print keywords, right, this is what I get, right? I get errors, keyword, type, and validate, right? Maybe something like this, bear with me. Okay, all right. So if you rerun this test, okay, fair enough. All right, so if we go back here, okay, yeah, exact, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna say here if and then custom keyword names includes current keyword, right? I think that's a solid system that we can rely on because we know that this is true. Then we can basically do this, right? Yeah. So I think this is awesome. Yeah, that's what I want. Yes, if custom keywords include. No, not really actually, right? Because, yeah, no, that's actually good. That's good. No, that's not what I meant. Oh shit, no, sorry. right? Something like that, right? All right, let's try the test now. Or at least let's go and print it. So let's see, get errors. Yep, so let's see now. Okay, so this is good. Field error, secure string. Okay, I see where I messed up. I see where I messed up. Good, almost there, almost there. So we need the field name, right? So no, this is actually true, no? Secure string, but no, this is the name of the actual validator, right? We need the actual field name of the in this case this is supposed to be a title, right? Yeah, so this is supposed to be title, because let's just hard code it for a second, right? Then we should see our test pass, right? Yeah, right. Good. So we can see that's it. Great. Okay, so field name, get field name, current. Thank you everybody for your follows. Appreciate it. Did we actually, because I removed it a second ago. Ah, instance path. Okay. No. It's actually good. It's actually fine, I think. So actually this field name potentially can even be fine. And it can be fine if we go here and say here case secure string, for instance. Yeah, there we go. Now it passes, right? All right, so what I'm gonna do here then, we need to change this from switch statement. So we can also say keyword names, custom keyword names, right? Exactly. What is this doing, if you're wondering? What the hell does this mean? Well, I can show you, right? So if we go back somewhere, basically the name of the actual field is going to be something like this, right? Total title. It's like instance path is this. Then we have to get rid of this, so we get the title, right? So that's it. It's just a okay. I'm not actually sure what's wrong now. Matty, my friend, thank you 13 months. Jesus Christ, man. That is crazy, dude. That is crazy. So actually, do we even need this anymore? I think, yeah, we don't actually need it because we integrated that stuff there, right? So with that said, why is this now complaining at all? Yep, there we go. There we go. Okay, beautiful. So now we actually can use our custom validators. Let's try another one. Let's try the YouTube one, right? So I'm gonna do this. Validate secure string. Let's write another test here for the YouTube validator. We validates is YouTube URL, just so we can, it's not about, those are also, those custom keywords I've tested in a different library. They have 100% test coverage. So I'm not testing those. I know that those work. I'm testing them now in the context of this React hook, right? So I think the other one was called is YouTube URL, if I recall. Let's go to Programmer Network frontend. Is YouTube. Yeah, exactly. That's not good. Why is this complaining now? We'll see about that in a second. So is YouTube URL. Let's call this, I don't know. Video URL, whatever. And let's set something here that's not YouTube URL, right? That's amazing. Invalid YouTube URL. That's great. It works. So we do this. And that should be passing. Super. Okay, so we are now sure, right, that our custom validators actually work. That's pretty awesome, right? Give me 2 seconds. Wait a minute, what did I do? No, that's not what I want. 1 sec. All right, cool. So that's great. That's super. Now, if we play with this fake playground a bit here, though. How can you, Alexander, how can you protect data source? Let's say the source is, well, you would stream that, right? As you're doing it now, right? As you're watching me right now, right? But I mean, technically, I mean, depending to what degree, right? I mean, it's impossible to prevent somebody to get the video. Downloading, yes, because it depends on the file that you, or the protocol that you use to stream it. But if you literally mean, like, I mean, no, you cannot prevent somebody to take the phone and record the video. Or you cannot, you know, like, you cannot prevent somebody to record their screen while video is playing. So to fully prevent it, it's impossible, right? Because you can always use the most silliest non-technical things there. I mean, I can go to YouTube, right? Full screen it and record my screen, right? So I don't think there's an actual way to fully do that, right? It's impossible, right? Because I mean, worst case, I'm gonna take my phone, I'm gonna put it like this, and I'm gonna record the video, right? With my phone. So you cannot do that. I mean, you can get the, you know, CD burner and burn any, you know, Netflix show if you want, right? I mean, nobody can prevent you to do that, right? You plug it in your TV, you click record as you're watching the series or movie, and boom, it's yours, right? So that's nobody can prevent you to do that. That's impossible, right? Okay, this is amazing. So those tests are running, but there is something wrong. There is something wrong here. So you can see, actually, is there? Yeah, there is, right? So it should be at least 3 characters long. So there seems to be something wrong with the onBlur event now, right? You can see that. So let's try fixing that, because that's not good. That's not good, right? Look. Right, okay, so let's go to our playground, where those two fields are. Playground, as I called it. And let me just remove this age crap, because it's just interfering with this validation. So let's get rid of age. So min length is 3, max length is 10. Fuck happened there? Okay. Just have a single field, so we're not okay. So we have this field, right? Let's like literally brute force and test this like this way as well, right? So yeah, you can see now that the blur is lost, right? But it still says should be at least 3 characters long. That's great. That's what we're doing now. We're trying to make it completely to fix any potential issue, right? So let's go on blur, or whatever I call this crap. No, it's not here. Where is it? Give me a moment here. Right. Okay. Candle blur. Seaplane, good evening, buddy. How are you? All right, so let's clean all the useless logs so we're not bombarded by noise, right? So I'm gonna get rid of this, and we're gonna have this single log here. Okay. So let's try to figure out the issue, right? So this is good now, no issue, okay? Should be at least 3 characters long. And yeah, so now, so is maybe on our onBlur effect isn't firing, or this expression is wrong, most likely. Let's see. Yep. So this is wrong here, so. So if it's valid, wait a minute. Yeah, so if we get to a different error, then it clears up, right? But you can see now that it's saying that, hey, title is actually fine, right? So wait a minute. So this is the problem, right? So title is, no, actually it is fine. Okay, so the issue basically is that we're not really clearing the error, right? So that's okay, right? That's okay. All right. So I suppose what we have to do here is that we should also probably clear the error on Blur, right? So you can see now it's all correct, right? But it's no longer clearing. So it's saying, hey, it's all good, but we're not clearing the actual error, right? Okay, so that shouldn't be difficult, right? So let's see how I've implemented this. Let's remove this. Yeah, so right, so we can do this here, and then we can do maybe, let's just do it, and then we're gonna improve it, right? Exactly. I mean, this guy is amazing. It reads my mind, right? So now technically it should be fine, right? There we go, right? Yes, so we basically didn't clear the error previously, right? All right, let's tell the bot to maybe improve this. We didn't abuse the bot today almost at all. So let's just make this a little bit cleaner. You can go to the repository and see what it's for. Just click on the link. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is it's so good. It's so good. Literally what I wanted to do. This is super clever implementation, to be honest. Super clever implementation. It's just, give me a second. Let's just solve this. Beautiful. I'm so happy with this. Very good. Very good. Very good. Yep. That seems okay, right? A little bit weird though, but yeah. It's a little bit weird if we cast things like this. Not a huge fan of that, but that's what it is. Okay. Tests still passing. They are, great. I mean, if we wanted to go further down crazy with this form thing, the only thing that would be good that we implement some debounds, right? So we could implement some debounds, and then once you stop typing, we also validate. So you don't really need to. It's that one, yes. So I think that's maybe the only thing we're missing for this to be completely amazing, right? So as you're typing, we debounce by, let's say, I don't know, 500 milliseconds, 300 milliseconds. Once you stop, then it runs the validate for you, right? Because right now, again, you have to focus the other field to see. So maybe, yeah, maybe that could be the only thing really now that we would want, right? Okay, that's super good. That's really good. I'm very happy with this. Is there any other tests that we could write? Let's see. Yeah, maybe the debounce would be great. That's maybe the only thing that I can think of right now, right? But okay, before we do that, let's make sure we deploy this, right? Let's. Thank you very much, guys, for your follows and all of that stuff. Appreciate it. Yeah, exactly. Then I need to set up the CI, right? We need to set up some continuous integration. So we're gonna set up GitHub Actions. I think I already have a file. So we'll try, am I on some sort of a branch? That's actually a little bit weird. Okay, that's super strange. All right. All right, we'll need to do more work on that specific thing. Oh, this is the playground stuff. Okay, so I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna push that now. Let's see, changes. We have the workflows, we have the Git workflows, right? So we'll definitely push that. And then we have the playground itself. So we're gonna keep from that for a moment. Okay. And let's see what we do. So I have workflows, lint, and test. Did I actually set up the linter and pnpn format? pnpm lint. Lint fix. Let's see what this does. I see. Okay. I see. Okay. Okay, well, that's honestly okay. That is okay. The only thing though is, all right, because the playground itself is useless. We don't care about this. Playground is just for testing the hook as we're writing this thing, right? So let's actually go to package.json, right, and make sure that what we're actually linting is the src. So, and not dot. So this is kind of what we wanna, and okay, sure. So it's actually already correct. It's already correct. Okay. Definition for rule simple import. Okay, because I don't wanna. I copy this from my other from the other library we built, so I actually don't want those rules of hooks. So that I actually don't want. Like, am I supposed to like install this crap or something? Wait. Because I don't actually know what this means. Definition for role TypeScript camel case was not found. What does that mean? All right, okay. So now we're actually getting something at least, right? And this is, that's what? Ah, okay, I see. So the I see. Let's just call it higher order component, right? Or something like that. So that should be fine, I guess. Nine errors, okay. Eight errors, okay. No explicit any. Where are we using any? Okay, I agree. Let's not have any any's. That's completely useless, right? Validate result. All right, so let's see where am I using this validate result. So this validate is going to indeed validate the result, and I think that would be fair to assume to be a good type, right? Line 4, any allowed values. What the hell is allowed values? So, right, so this is a string array, right? Not any array, I suppose, right? Okay, that's great. That's super. Let's keep on going. There are a few things in here that is unexpected any. Okay. So line 52. I see, okay. Oh my God, my colleague Elvis is here. Good evening, man. How are you doing? And thank you for coming, dude. Elvis, the legend. What if I say unknown? Is this guy gonna stop complaining at least? It's not a lot more useful. Okay, it stopped complaining. Let's move on. Man, we should go for that beer that we mentioned 5 billion times, man. Hopefully one day it's gonna happen. Line 8. Are you in Copenhagen? Fucking beer, like, yeah, we're gonna go one day, right. This unknown isn't a lot better, I get it, but that's how it is. 3 more errors, okay. I mean, dude, I told you a million times, you're welcome at our home anytime, man. You know that already. So, I'm just so lazy, man. Man, I miss Babis a lot, man. I miss him. He's a, yeah. How many guitars? Not too many, man. Maybe around 10 or 12. I have some in the basement because they can't fit here. But I didn't buy many more since you've been here. I think maybe 2 or 3 more. And you've been here at my place, what, like a year or 2 ago? It's been so long. Yeah, so this unknown shit that we just added is not good, right? More. Are you sure? That's, yeah. And that's, yeah, that's pretty sad, dude. That's crazy. But I love you that, I love it so much that you're here. Reminds me of our time sitting together and arguing about mega Java. You know, man, since you and I work together, man, I don't think that ever in my career afterwards I've ever discussed things in detail as you and I did. We really cared about JavaScript details. You remember, man, we knew every single thing, dude. We followed every single spec, feature. I haven't had that discussion with anybody after you in a very long time. Like, I remember, like, man, like, we discussed prototypal chain and low-level shit of JavaScript. I haven't discussed that with anybody since I did with you. Yeah. I genuinely don't know which type to use here, because genuinely it makes sense that it's yeah, I've heard about it, like, here in the stream, to be honest, but I haven't checked it yet. I haven't checked it yet, to be very frank with you. I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit, yeah. You know it better than me. It's just every year something is gonna kill React or Vue.js, you know. Okay, I need to take a look at it. Sure, maybe it's something new that's great. Who knows? But oh my god, man. So what I'm actually going to do is actually gonna do that. My brain is kind of shutting down, Elvis. We're also releasing some shit at work, so yeah. I mean, to be honest, I know that you are the. I know that you're Elvis. I know that you're using what is it called? Not stencil, but this. What is it called? The stuff that you wrote about as well. It's just that's the ultimate question as well for me, right? It's like how well. Ah, shit. Okay. I don't know. I mean, honestly, yeah. Honestly, yeah. I don't actually know. What the heck, man? You remember when we went to Greece with Erte, man? We had like, so Elvis and I, we worked in the same company a couple of years ago, and we went, our company booked this whole hotel in Greece, like only for us. The whole hotel was ours, and we had a team building for a week. It's like 100 of us, and there's like 2 megabits internet there. You remember just trying to find bars to just npm install, man? Like that was hilarious. It's like, who is npm installing? Who the fuck is doing that now? Are you crazy? Oh man, good times. Yeah, exactly, dude. Like that was pretty awesome. Oh wow, don't tell me that it's formatting the npm log file. That's not a great thing, is it? But it doesn't matter. Okay, so obviously as it's my library, so who gives a shit? I'm gonna name it whatever I want. Let's just say here tests ci permits. Useless commit message, but that's what it is. How did you get VS Code? What field in tech interests you the most? I mean, I at least feel like that at this point in my career. It's not the tech that interests me, it's building product that interests me. I don't care anymore about frameworks. And it's because at one point in time you just realized it's just all the same crap, right? We hype it, but I love helping other developers, and I like building things. That's what, when I go to work, 1% of my excitement relates to coding, because how many components are you gonna write, or HTML or JavaScript, until you get bored, right? I mean, you can just write a million until you cannot do it anymore, right? So you get what I mean, right? That's super weird. Okay, there's something, so yeah, this is super weird, right? Super weird. All right. Yeah, like Elvis says, exactly, man. It's like sometimes I feel like you know, like people praise, you know, you stream and people get excited, and I'm like, man, it's nothing really too clever, man. I just been writing that same shit 3 billion times. You know, sometimes I'm just thinking like, shh, let them think I'm smart, you know. You know, let them think I'm smart, but no. I mean, everything is repetitive. I mean, game development is repetitive. Every part of this industry is repetitive, right? There's no exceptions, right? If you're building video games, maybe drawing some complex high fidelity 3D assets is not repetitive for some, right? Uh, but it's definitely everything's repetitive, right? You're gonna write some game loop, you're gonna use some game engine, right? So it's everything's absolutely repetitive, right? What the hell, man? Yeah, this is a little bit weird. Like I've just installed this. Okay, so this is in fact installed. That's a little bit weird. So why did this fail? ESLint couldn't find the plugin. ESLint plugin. The package was not found when loaded as a node module from directory. Playground. Ah. So, but, oh, okay. I see. So, you know, just to simplify those things, because this is kind of getting a... I mean, Elvis, exactly, dude. That's why I sometimes even feel like shit. You know, it's like, man, you know, what we're doing isn't that great, right? But I do miss whoever asked me. I mean, I do miss, for example, networking, right? When I was very young, in 2008 or 9, I worked as a networking engineer. If I may call myself engineer, I don't think so. That I miss sometimes, because that was also fun. It was mixture of going outside on a... It's a good career money-wise. I mean, maybe, right? But that's... yeah, I'm not so sure about that. You remember, I don't know, Elvis, if I told you, right? If you remember when I told you, but I told you when I left Airtame that I don't think that I'll ever work in a company where we have capabilities like there. And to be very honest with you, I mean, I love Dream Data where I work now. It's a beautiful company, but that still stays. I mean, at the Airtame, you know, we had MDNS, right? We had MDNS. I was there during the MDNS, right? Oh, SSDP. Oh my god. I didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, that's a shame. But those were the fun times for sure. It's hard to find a company with our skills that's where you can get that for sure, right? That's... But I was there when we did MDNS, but I don't remember if I was there when we did it in TypeScript. I can't actually remember. It's been like long. Yeah. Okay, so the CI works now. That's great. Yeah, that's a little bit weird, but we'll need to... I'll fix that in a moment, right? That's a little bit funny because that shouldn't have been the case. Yeah, okay, so let's do a little bit of a config here, right? So, and some of you might find this actually interesting, right? So we're gonna do this. We're gonna say that this is obviously... No, that's not what I actually wanted to do. Jesus Christ, man. All right, so let's do a few things. So let's do this. So we're gonna make the master to be the default branch. Then we're gonna go to branches, and then we're gonna add the protection rule. So we're just gonna do a little bit of security here on the GitHub level. Allow specific bypassers, right? I know, man, but Elvis, I know, dude, I just can't. Master for me is like, and I know that for good reasons it was forbidden. I know the racial type of thing and stuff. It's just right? I don't know. It's just okay, so we're gonna require that those jobs pass before before things get merged. Come on, like why does it get a little bit dumb sometimes? It doesn't want to do this. Honestly, I agree with you, Elvis. I should probably just actually call it main as well. But exactly. Okay, so good. So you can see now our lint and test actually have to pass. So that's good. Random potato. Is there a timeline sheet for progress implementations? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. The thing is, what this stream has taught me, I think it's a good... Loinvest, thank you very much, man, for the resub. You're very kind of you, man. What I've learned throughout this stream past year, right, is that, which is going to sound very contradictory to what you've heard from pretty much anywhere your whole life, is that too much planning can set you up for failure, right? I do this stream and this project out of passion, and one thing that's imperative, right, is that you need to be realistic with yourself. You know, I have a full-time job, a wife and a kid, and very limited time, and the reason why I didn't take that route of mega planning perfectly, you know, form the Trello or GitHub project boards is because I know that there's going to be times when I will not be able to do things, and that's perfectly fine. But as you can see, I keep coming back at any possible times. I do this whenever I can, right? So I don't want to turn this into a second job, right? Nor I want to put pressure on myself. Because again, if I wanted to build this as a product that sells, I would have never showed up on this stream in the first place. I would put my headphones on and be 400 times more productive, right? So for that reason, right, there isn't there isn't such a thing, right? But I started last week recording weekly videos for those of you who care. So if I actually go here, last weekend basically, so almost a week ago, I recorded this kind of devlog #1. So every week I'm gonna be at least recording this to kind of keep track of where I am, because this is a low effort thing. I don't prepare my videos, I don't have scripts, I just record and that's it. So for me, recording the videos is the quickest thing, because it literally takes as long as the video took to record. I don't like edit anything. I don't have the time for that. Okay, so this is great now. So yeah, so our actions are passing, the linting and running tests, right? So lint and test. Where is the test? Run tests. I mean, yeah. Could we? Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not skeptical about my own project, right? But I'm not getting ahead of myself, right? Who knows, right? No matter what, take it day by day, hour by hour, feature by feature. As long as I can keep up showing up and doing the work, that's great. We're building open source libraries, we're having fun, and hopefully this journey is going to teach me, maybe how to then execute on my own another product that I actually do want to sell, right? So we'll see, time will tell, who knows, right? Okay, so all right, So let me just go through my README very quickly. Okay, so let me just actually go, let's go to Code Sandbox or something. And thank you guys for your follows and your support. That's very kind of you. Come on, man. What are you doing? Yeah, for sure. I mean, everything's possible, right? But I like one of the reasons why a lot of developers never actually finish anything that they start, right? Is that the start is the end, right? 100% Elvis. I mean, again, so you know, if you read some of the Stoic philosophy, right, it's also imperative that grind doesn't become addiction, right? Because there is a huge difference between consistency and continuity and addiction. And addiction can be really bad. Addiction can be also good, right? If you're passionately addicted. But if you're just locked in but kind of dying inside doing something, that's very unhealthy, right? So it's also good to at one point say, hey, you know, is this going somewhere, right? Because the question isn't what you're doing, the question is where you're going, right? And those are two fundamental different things to focus on. It's not like, what am I doing? What you're doing is a side effect of a place where you want to be in the future, right? Jesus Christ, man, come on. Like, they've changed the UI, man, like... Okay, so here it is. Jesus, man, like they changed the UI. Okay, I see. What? Okay, sure. All right. Well, anyway, I want to try to install this thing that we didn't publish the latest version yet. Wait. So let's read a little bit of the documentation that I wrote long ago. If I go to my npm page, right, because we did publish this there. Airtime network interfaces 5 years ago. That's crazy. Remember IPC? When I wrote also this when I was at Airtime Elvis. I don't know if you remember. This was for our inter-process communication with Electron, if you remember. Programmer network, use AJVA. It's this one, yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. So let's get over here. Let's just improve this a bit, right? So we'll, there's so many package managers now. So let's, yeah. So let's say here, bash, right? And let's say pmi, pm add, bun, what was it? Install, yarn install, npm install, right? Yeah, Elvis, I don't know. I mean, we need to sit for a beer, but yarn add, okay. Yeah, it's been a... Man, that sounds super fun, especially because those machine learning and the vision, right? IPC, exactly. Yeah, those things are also getting a lot cheaper, so for sure. We had a hackathon a couple of days ago at Dream Data. We played with Vertex AI, LangChain and stuff. It was super fun. We built our own LLM agents. It was pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, I'm just tiny bit bored. I'm just a little bit, yeah, I mean, it's not the most fun thing that I want to do now, right? It's just, give me a second. Because I've changed the interfaces here and a lot of things is very different, right? And all, yeah, so there's, I need to update this, but I don't feel like doing it now. I need to add the types. I've introduced new events like on Blur and stuff like that, right? So I need to update some philosophy here because I truly believe this is an amazing library actually, because I've been using this, I've wrote this for Programmer Network past year, right? And it's super cool. And I wrote this higher order component as well, right? It's just like we need to write the documentation on it as well. Because we have this higher order component with HAV input, which technically right now this library doesn't export, right? So we would need to do like multi-entry file, whatever thing, I guess. Because we have the main here, use AV, right? So we'll need to fix that, I suppose. This is just temporary, but I'll need to... Yeah, it kind of sucks, yeah. Yeah, everything is in TypeScript, yeah. I don't know, let's say... Yeah, I don't like this. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to... I'm gonna remove this stuff just because it's no longer kind of accurate, right? Then I think I've also removed this flattening. I initially implemented this flattening and unflattening in the library. So essentially if you had nested objects like, you know, like foo, bar, baz, right? I would flatten them like foo, bar, and baz, and then you would have the, you know, value here. So this made the form basically, you could give it any shape of an object instead of needing to normalize the data once the form gives you the actual object, then you would generally have to adjust it to fit whatever you need. But then I removed it because I don't want this library to deal with this, right? It adds some complexity which makes the library, I want it to be as dumb, as simple as possible, right? So yeah, this is no longer correct. All right. Well, yeah. Let's give this fella. Yeah. A grammar proof and improve. Yeah, I have it in many of my repositories as well, Simple Cookie. I have it. So for example, the way that I documented my infrastructure in Hetzner, if I find it, there's a bunch of stuff I wrote. Kubernetes. Yeah, so for example, here's one example, right? I need to actually update this. But then there's always... Yeah, exactly. But also, right, I'm using... also, Draw.io is my favorite tool, right? So, so like... Oops. Shit. What? Wow, okay, that's crazy. This is my favorite fella, right? This is my favorite fella. I just commit this as part of the repo, right? Because this is my infrastructure, right? With, you know, Prometheus and all of this stuff. And this is my... I think I made a video. It's made a video on this. So I always accompany. Yeah, and honestly, just commit it, right? I mean, in several of the so since I'm not using, you know, like since I'm not writing infrastructure as code, right? At least to the degree I'm trying to. So you can see for my programmer network, I have all of the scripts here. Each one of them has its own README file, so they're all documented, right? Because it's very difficult to memorize a lot of these details. Because I have, you know, 4 times a day I back up my database. I have a cron job that. So there's so many things when you build an infrastructure on your own, right? Yeah. Well, I wrote a little thing on that on LinkedIn a couple of weeks ago about people lacking discipline when it comes to documentation, because a lot of CTOs even are gonna tell you, oh, well, documentation takes time, blah blah blah. That's bullshit, man. Documentation doesn't take time. What takes time way more is when you don't write it, and then you come back a year later or a month later. Yeah. So, but it's not the tooling. It's not is it Confluence or or this or that. It's just discipline. Because I think software engineers are the most notorious people for not putting their money where their mouth is. Like that especially became very apparent in this stream past year as I was streaming, because everybody knows perfectly the theory. So when you talk to an average developer, everybody tells you the right things. Document, write documentation, write tests, and write perfect code, Alex. If I was you, I would be writing perfect code, right? But then when you talk to them in more detail, right, then you see that nobody's doing or putting the money where their mouth is, right? So discipline becomes easier. Not really. I mean, again, you don't need the tools, right? For the most things, you can document things in README files, right? Now, of course, if you have some more infrastructure type of thing, you can use Myro, or you can use Draw.io. So depending, right, what the type of documentation you're referring to. But a lot of documentation, right? Exactly. I'm with you, 100% with you. But it is a discipline type of thing, right? Writing tests is also really type of a discipline. It's not really that you need to be smart to write tests. Once you write one test, you can write any test. So it's not rocket science, but it's a matter of training, right? Just as it's a matter of having a green juice in the morning when you wake up, turning on the blender, right? Some off topic, how do I know? Okay, let's just chat a bit. Okay, so give me 1 second. Let's maybe chat a bit. So let's read a question or two. Let me share my opinion, and don't forget, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, so keep in mind. Some off topic, how do I know how much money I should take for a project? It's gonna be a web API that will be an interface for printers to upload certificates. Last time we talked, he was saying around 10 to 15 euros. Any idea? It's my first ever project. I suggest not charging for a project, but instead an hour. I agree with that statement, and I also disagree. And let me elaborate just so I don't share empty words. So I think, so in my experience past maybe 2 or 3 years, because I had like, believe 3 or 4 big projects that I was doing consultancy wise, I can tell you the mistake that I made. So the mistake that I made is that I always say the final price, because how many hours it's going to take me to do that is none of the customer's business, because obviously they don't care. Now the mistake that I made is that I accepted a fixed price, but I didn't actually have any contract to say for any additional features you have to pay extra. So I would in fact not charge by hour, but I would protect myself and say, okay, so say you said 15,000 euros for that. Let's say that's great. I don't know. Nobody can tell you how much money. Give me 1 second. Music is too loud. Okay. You get what I mean. So but no matter what you do, if you choose to be paid by fixed price, then ensure that you both sign that agreement, and then in the agreement state that Any extra requests or features are going to cost more, and then that the price is going to be renegotiated. No, well, that's exactly simple cookie what I'm talking about. Not really. They can only do that if you don't agree written and stamped, right? So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Exactly, acceptance criteria, like Elvis is saying. Because I mean, exactly, Elvis, exactly. So the thing is, right? We cannot. I think it's a little bit silly, right? I mean, but simple cookie, right? I mean, look, I fully get your point, and I to a big degree agree with you. But I think it's unfair to expect your customer that's completely illiterate in IT and that's hiring you as an expert to know everything they want. I mean, your product manager in your company that you're working with every day, they don't know what they want, right? So it's if it was just easy for any of us to just write the whole project on paper and say, there you go, just do it, software wouldn't be as terrible as it is, right? So I think it's a little bit unfair to say, well, customers change their mind. Well, everybody changes your mind. Your CTO changes your mind. Your product manager changes your mind. Your CEO changes your mind, right? That's how products are built, right? It doesn't matter for who it is, right? Okay. So you have two options here, and I would say they're equally legitimate. So simple cookies telling you he thinks it's better if you charge by hour. Fair. I cannot say yes or no. I say don't charge by hour. Instead, get a written contract, agree on the features that you're going to build for that money. Anything extra out of that, you will have to renegotiate. So you have two options. Indeed, I don't think that one is better than the other. And I think Elvis just said something very, very good. I'm going to copy that in Twitch chat. And I agree with this 100%. I'm just going to read it out loud. Elvis said, you should help the client to write ACS and make the agreement. And you as an expert should be open and say as well, blah, blah, blah. 100%, right? So obviously, you know, as Elvis says, right? You're the expert, right? So you need to tell the client how long it's going to take, how much it costs, and you have to always to account for things that don't go great, right? I hopefully you're doing the same at your full-time job as well. You are always, whenever you plan something, double it, right? Or add a huge percentage. So if you say something's going to take a day, it's going to take 2 days. If you say something's going to take a week, say 2 weeks, right? You know, up or down, right? But certainly don't say it's going to take a day and it takes 3 days. That's not good, right? Any tips on passing top-tile rigorous technical interview? No, because I probably wouldn't pass that interview myself. Because I was never interviewed like that, and I hopefully never will be interviewed with that bullshit. So no. The only tip that I can give you is that don't apply to companies that ask those stupid things. It's as simple as that, right? How does maintenance factor into those types of contracts? I don't think that it does. Again, it's all about the contract. If you agree and it's written, it's all good. If you agree in verbal words, you can shit on that agreement already up front because it means nothing. Because it has no legal basis of any kind, right? To be honest, it's kind of scary. Imagine you develop it. That's why you should ask for some payment up front and then rest of the payment after you finish, right? Elvis is writing on YouTube. So when I was working at Airtime, Amazon contacted me, right? Amazon recruiter contacted me. This was like, I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember when it was. Doesn't matter. And I was contacted as a web programmer, right? And then they gave me this they gave me this type of TOPTEL or lead code, whatever bullshit. I literally couldn't even understand the question, let alone the solution. And then I went to other colleagues in my company at Airteam. I went to embedded engineers, like C engineers. I just wanted to validate if am I too stupid or just a little bit stupid, right? But then it turned out that I was just a little bit stupid because nobody could actually decipher what the hell it is. Man, and never again. I got so mad and so hurt that, and then Google also contacted me. I said, wow, great. Then I opened the interview. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man? What is this, man? Like, why would you ever ask that anyone, right? But of course, it's clear why they do it. They have a lot of applicants, and actually, for those of you, I might have mentioned this before, I was in a nodejs conference in Paris maybe 5 years ago, and I met Igor Minar, the creator of AngularJS, and I asked him over the beer, like, man, why are the interviews at Google so useless and so hard? Literally, I asked this question. He said, we actually don't care if you know this stuff, we just care to see if you're able to learn it. Because if you're able to sit and memorize 50 different algorithms, you're probably capable of learning React as well. This was literally his response. And I don't disagree with him. I mean, he's right. If you're able to sit for a year and study this bullshit every day and practice this crap, then you're probably capable of learning how to write web components as well, right? But it has no significance or any implications on, okay, person does know this, hence they are very good programmer. In fact, based on the research that I read, it's quite contrary. People who focus too much on this crap are usually not very effective and are usually too theoretical to be sufficiently productive and proactive, right? That's at least what I saw. Who knows? I mean, I knew this when I went to university myself, don't take me wrong. I mean, we all did that crap, you know, bubble sort and all of that shit, right? The sorting and right? But you forget that, man, right? Exactly, Elvis, 100%. Being able to, I do believe that, for example, knowing, some domain level knowledge and some system level design is super useful. I saw that even with Programmer Network. I mean, you know, designing your own event emitter, you're never going to need to do it, but it's cool and useful. Designing your notification system, I had to design notification system here. So some of those things, there is a little chance that you will actually need to do it. Will learning about it upfront be useful? Probably not. Because, for example, if you want to design your notification system right now, you can research that in around 20 minutes, because there's finite amount of ways you can do that, right? I think it's good to be aware of performance in general, right? Because somebody asked me like a couple of streams ago, hey, if I knew C programming language, would I be better web developer? Of course you wouldn't. Those two worlds had nothing to do with each other. But maybe to a tiny small degree, you would be more cautious of some memory stuff that you have the control over, right? Even though you don't have much control over it in a garbage collected language like JavaScript, right? Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. Did we have any people sign up on Programmer Network today? I hope so. Yeah, we had some. Okay, very nice. Very nice. We had like 4 people sign up on Programmer Network. Very good. That makes me happy always. Any other questions, my friends? I think my wife is still awake. I want to just hang out with her a little bit and then need to work tomorrow like the rest of you, I suppose. I mean, again, having a basic feeling of algorithms, it's not that I don't know them. I mean, I'm just playing a little bit here to make it fun. It's not that I don't know algorithms and data structures. It's just I can't sit now and solve a problem that says Jamie and John are in a field of apples, and there's 137 trees, and each tree has 54 apples on it, right? I mean, when Amazon contacted me, this thing that Elvis said, I literally had one of the 4 questions was differential equation, right? Like, who the fuck asks about differential equations for a web development role? I mean, they contacted me for a specific role, and then they gave me an assignment that had nothing to do with that role, 1%. There was literally 0% resemblance of what my job would be relative to what they asked me to do, right? It was literally as close as if they were hiring a web developer and they told him, sit in a car and show us how good of a driver you are, right? Like there's genuinely, I don't think there's any difference. If they told me, do you have a driving license? Can you record yourself and tell us how you drive? And if you drive well, we'll let you code, right? So my take on performance, don't be sloppy, overuse memory or CPU cycles, but don't. Yeah, exactly, Elvis. And I think for us JS devs, at least, we are to a huge degree very limited in what we can do there. But okay. I mean, look, I think a lot of companies also don't know how to hire, right? I mean, what I've noticed, and I was fortunate to hire a little bit with Elvis at Airtime, and I hired a lot here at Dream Data, where I'm now, and I also hired at DTU, Technical University of Denmark, when I worked there, and many people gave me a very good feedback. They, for example, gave me a feedback, and I remember I got that feedback together with Elvis 4 years ago, is that, hey man, this is the first interview where I felt that this is a discussion, not interrogation, right? And I think for me, first thing I always do when I interview someone, I put myself in their position, and I know how much everybody hates being interviewed. That's just a terrible feeling. Like, nobody goes into an interview like and they're completely relaxed, chill, whatever. Not even I do that, and I'm a complete idiot, right? So you have to make you have to loosen up the person. You have to make that a discussion, and then truly you can see what that person is capable of when it becomes a genuine like discussion, right? This type of crap, implement an algorithm and stuff, that doesn't tell you anything, and that type of stuff you can teach a person how to implement a sorting algorithm probably in an hour. So instead of actually checking how that candidate is in so many other areas, as a team player, is it articulate, proactive, there's so many things that you can get out of the interview, and I don't think that the thing you should be getting out of the interview is like, did this person sit down and learn an algorithm by heart? I don't think, right, that it doesn't make any sense, right? Because there's so many more important things about the person you're hiring than can they reverse a list, right? Because you can learn that super quickly, especially today. Go to ChatGPT, you'll learn algorithms and data structures in a month now, right? So I don't know. It's just kind of silly sometimes that people waste time asking these questions, which give you very little, right, insights into who the person is and what the person does, how the person thinks, and stuff like that, right? But yeah, that's just my take. That's my take. We all have opinions. Who knows, right? I'm not saying that I'm right. It's just my personal feeling. I applied for Java. Now I'm working with Java, Kotlin, React, Bash, OpenGL. Yeah. Full stack company developer. Like our roles are slowly turning out to be like, are you hiring a person or an entire organization? But that's how it is. Yeah. Been doing only OpenShift for a month now. Got it. Agree, Elvis, 100%, man. I've seen that so much, so many times past couple of years. I live it literally. Where do I live? I live in Copenhagen. They once asked me to swap two variables in the most platonic way, but again, so the cause of those questions, right, is not ill intent, right? I don't think that the cause of those questions is simply inexperience. Like most people out there are inexperienced in recruiting, including myself and 99.9%. It's simply because we don't have the chance to hire thousands of people, right? So what most small companies do, they just mimic what big companies are doing, right? Because you have some dude that now suddenly your startup got some money, now you can suddenly scale the team. So oh wow, okay, so now I have an opportunity to hire 3 people, right? So what are you gonna ask? Well, I mean, you haven't practiced that before, you never hired people before, so what are you gonna do? Well, you're gonna go to Google and see how others are doing it, right? And then you're gonna, of course, be an asshole, and then you're gonna do it the way that Google does it. But what you don't realize, right, is that Google, gets, I don't know, 1 million applicants a year, and your company gets 20, right? So the cause of that isn't necessarily ill intent or people being assholes. It's just that most people don't know how to hire, how to interview, right? And then they just fall back to whatever others are doing, right? Man, 100% Elvis, 100%, man. Dude, like, you literally wrote the stuff that I preach every day. I think the most important, for me, the most insights I get when I interview someone is if I ask a little bit annoying question, is like Elvis said, is like, how does the person react? Do they become defensive, offensive? Do they show some self-awareness? Do they become stressed, right? There's so many things you can do just by kind of getting a little bit into discussion purposely, just to see, okay, now we got into discussion, right? Let's see how do they listen and think, and right? So those things are for me so important. If I see that person is able to discuss things in a humane way and disagree respectfully, right? Yeah, exactly. But boredom type of thing, sure. Like you can say, do they seem enthusiastic or completely bored? I mean, yes, it's important, right? But I've learned so far that it doesn't necessarily imply that, because most developers, right, they don't give a crap about product, right? Which is very sad. That's a completely different subject. We don't have the time for that now. But exactly, I mean, you just have to be a human being, right? There's somebody sitting in a place where you've been sitting not long ago, and you need to make that person feel comfortable. So if you're interviewing someone, treat that person as they're coming to your house, and you want to make them comfortable, you want to make them feel nice, because it's in your interest to actually see who they are. It's absolutely not in your interest to see who they are not, right? Because that is the huge problem in interviews. Interviews are making people represent themselves in their absolute best light, right? But we are not our best self every day, every single second, right? So instead of forcing people to sell themselves, right? You should just try to get people to right? Exactly, Elvis, man, 100%. That's literally like just saying. I mean, I do that with my team every day, man. I'm a tech lead now at my company, and I say it, and I say that genuinely, not because I'm trying to like win them over, but if I say a million times every day, I don't know, man, that stuff 500 better times than me, right? So it's just being, being a person that people are willing to talk to, instead of being a person that everybody is scared, to go to. It's like, I don't want to ask that guy anything. He always knows everything, right? Exactly, Elvis. Exactly, man. 100%. 100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Give me 1 second. I'm just checking something here. But such a nice discussions. I had so much fun. Amazing. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Yeah, let's maybe run it up, fellas. Elvis, I'm so happy you're here, man. I cannot express my gratitude. Thank you so much, dude. Like, if you have time sometimes, I know you're busy like hell as well, but whenever you're free, just come. Like, yeah, just enjoy it so much, man. A type of script. Yeah. Thank you, man. I love you, dude, and I hope to see you soon. Anytime, man. And yeah. Okay, well, guys, I really enjoyed it. My friend was here, and that was super cool. And I'll need to head off now. Hopefully my wife is still awake. I might be able to say hi to her. I'll see you guys most likely tomorrow. Or if not tomorrow, over the weekend. Let's see how my day goes tomorrow at work. Tried to register with Twitch and Programmer Network, but then I thought that I want to register manually. Yeah. Well, you're not stuck. You have to complete your profile, right? I mean, you're not stuck. You're I see what you're saying, right? But even now, if you would want to go, we don't. I mean, this is not. I implemented the whole authentication system, right? Can I show you my game about a horse? You cannot. No. Pix. It's a fair point, right? Is the sign up process absolutely perfectly ideal? Of course not, right? I mean, I'm not a one man. I'm a one man company, right? So. So the best I can do for you is I can delete your existing thing and you can sign up with username and password, but I would always advise you to sign up. I will soon implement also two-factor authentication when I have the time to, yeah. So you either have to complete it now or I can remove your account, then you can sign up with a username. But you're technically already signed up. You're now in the middle step. You don't need to provide any details, just FYI picks. So you can just click anonymous mode. So I'm not forcing people to give me their names, whatever. So you can just click initialize anonymous mode and you don't have to provide. If that's what you're concerned about, don't be, because the premise of this platform is privacy and no tracking and stuff like that, right? Of course, as I said, I haven't implemented the GDPR banner. I have to do that, but it does comply. Yes, I don't expose any user identifiable data or anything like that. Right now, you would have to message me and I would remove it, but I'll add that at one point, yes. The main reason why that's not there, it's absolutely valid by GDPR, so you don't have to have by law as long as you have a privacy security officer basically email. So as long as somebody is able to email someone and say we request that all our data is removed, that is still complies with the general rules, right? The main reason why I haven't implemented it, right, is that you can say, well, Alex, it's just a single endpoint call, right? You just call delete this and everything's removed. That is true, right? But it also we need to make sure that doesn't get somewhere, right? So we need to make sure we implement it in some sort of a scheduled time, right? And that endpoint or that process can only be triggered from a very closed, secure place and stuff, right? So it's not a problem writing an endpoint. I can do that probably in around 10 minutes or so, right? It's more about figuring out, right, that, yeah. Guys, thank you. Super fun stream, simple cookie. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for being here. Elvis, if you're still there, I feed in mid. Good evening, and sorry, man, I gotta go. And everybody else, Dimitrovich, and all of you guys, thank you so much for being here. And I'll see you guys most likely tomorrow. Or and Elvis, I love you, man. You made my night. Thank you so much for being here, man. I'll see you guys all next time. Peace out, everybody. Thank you. Cheers. All the best. Bye-bye.